Is it all very quiet? Give us a big yup the flats. I'm Sparky. I'm on the board of Masamba. I've been on it since I'm 11. I'm 56 now. I think it's time for me to leave. Just want to welcome everybody. I know there's people here who have come very far. There's people come from Mullingar. I've come from Ballymun, which is a long way from here. And I want to welcome us all tonight for Masamba's 30th birthday. Yup!
1, 2. Sorry, it's a little bit crowded up here, as you can see. Thanks for coming. You've been a wonderful audience. I'm just going to make a very long speech now, and we're going to go home, okay? So that's the plan. So, being the night that's in it, we do have to have a little bit of formality and a little bit of speaking. I won't keep you too long. As you know, I'm very shy, anybody that knows me, so I don't like speaking in public. So first, I'd like to start by welcoming everybody here tonight to celebrate with us. Most especially, I'd like to welcome the Ambassador Designate, His Excellency Mr. Flavio Helmond Maciera, and his wife, Miss Josiane Cotrim Maciera, and their daughter, who are here tonight. This is one of the first duties His Excellency is undertaking here in Ireland. He's not even officially the ambassador yet. So anything he says to you tonight is off the record, okay? just so you know. We very much appreciate his presence, and it's a great symbol, I think, of the great cultural links between Ireland and Brazil. I'd also like to welcome several members of our board of directors. This is a highly secretive cabal of shadowy characters who are rarely seen in public. So it's great to see them here tonight and to thank them for all their efforts behind the scenes to keep Masamba running. In addition, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to many of our colleagues in the ecosystem that supports community and world music, be they funders, partners, clients, or other artists. It's a small scene here in Ireland, and yet we rarely have time to meet socially and to compare stories. Most importantly, I'd like to welcome the members of Masamba Samba School, past and present, who are here with us tonight. Masamba is a community music group, but it is also a community. Over the years, we have welcomed people from many different backgrounds, ethnicities, genders, and abilities, some for a short time, and some have stuck with us for many years. Everyone, and I mean everyone, has made a contribution, however large or small, to get us here today, and hopefully there are many more members out there ready to join us and continue the tradition. Also, I would like to take a moment to remember some important members of the Masamba family who have left us for good. The contributions made by Peter Keenan, Angie Garrity, Ken Dawson, Maria Twamley, and Sandra Fitzgerald to the DNA of Masamba cannot be measured. And I hope they're looking down on us now, proud of their achievements, and that Peter will count all the bars in every song for us. Finally, we've been lucky enough to develop some genuine links with the Brazilian community in Ireland and have the opportunity to work with outstanding Brazilian artists, with many of them now calling Ireland their home. In particular, I think we all would agree that Kelly Baldonado, our dance director, has brought us so much to the band since we were first introduced to her by none other than Pelé back in 2006. Kelly has performed with us all over the country, in the UK and Germany, and her infectious smile has drawn the cameras of the media to us wherever we go. Along with Kelly, we are now lucky enough to work with many Brazilian culture bearers, including Alessandra Azevedo, Mestre Sansao, Marcela Parducci, and our own Fernando Bascarotto. Tonight's show is special. When we first started discussing how we might celebrate 30 years of Masamba, many ideas were floated. Some small and simple, some grandiose, some almost impossible, and a couple that were probably illegal. However, one thing that everyone agreed was that there would have to be a performance, and that means music. This year, we were lucky enough to have opportunities to work with a number of leading proponents of Afro-Brazilian music, including Ileaie, Alexander Garnizzi, and of course, Dudu Tucci. All of these interactions introduced new music and new techniques, but in the end, we decided that what might be more interesting would be to tell the story of the band through music, from some of the earliest pieces we ever learned to play to some more recent compositions. Bearing in mind that when Masamba started, there were practically no Brazilians living in Ireland, and the internet wasn't a thing. We accept that some of the earlier pieces we learned are flawed, but we decided to keep them the way that we learned them, as much to respect those who taught us as to respect the tradition. This is another thread that runs through this set. Each piece represents a collaboration with a tutor, a master drummer, or a group, which has expanded our knowledge and our passion for Afro-Brazilian music. This is true of the piece that we opened with just there. It's called Jamaican Samba, And we learned it from a guy called Anthony Cubby Cuthbert, who funded the Cork School of Samba and Percussion. Cubby regularly travelled to Dublin in our earliest days and was always willing to share what he knew. Cubby passed away a few years back, but I guess a little bit of him remains with us as long as someone is playing his music. Our next piece, speech is nearly over. Our next piece is called Afro Block and comes from another early influence on the band. The introduction of samba percussion to Ireland came by way of Scotland, with Glasgow's Masamba being a key part of the first Big Bang Festival in 1994. Soon afterwards, Erin Scrutton of the band Repercussion visited the City Arts Centre to deliver a workshop. Erin had recently been to Bahia and brought this piece back with her. The main groove comes from Erin, and later we added variations from Tony Watt at the Manchester School of Samba and from the Oladoom tunes on the near-legendary Bahia Black CD, which was doing the rounds at the time on bootleg cassettes. Remember cassettes? Anybody old enough to remember them? Brian Ramberg leads this piece. So, over to Brian. Thank you very much. So the next piece we call a kind of generic name, Afro 12/8. And this is a piece that we developed based on a rhythm by Dudu. We started recently, and I remember when we were working on this, I remember the very first time that I ever worked with Dudu, which was back in 1996 in Manchester, at a thing called the Manchester Incontro. And we did 4 rhythms at that meeting. 3 of them were in 4/4, and 1 of them was in 12/8. And what was interesting was all the Irish and Scottish people got the 12/8 straight away, and the English, not so much, okay? So this piece is from Dudu, and it's going to feature a conga solo from the man himself. And I just want to say that, you know, since 1996, we've had the chance to work with Dudu almost every year, either here in Ireland. He's been to Ireland many times, not just Dublin, but also Belfast, Carlingford, Drogheda. I'm probably missing out a couple of places, but, you know. Sorry? Berlin. Berlin isn't in Ireland. I was going to say we've also worked with him in the UK and Berlin, and also in Salvador, Brazil. So we have a long, long history. Not only has Dudu been a mentor and an inspiration to everyone in Masamba, with most of our music having some benefit or influence on material that he was brought to us through his own vast knowledge and really clear teaching methods. And I have to say, I think anyone who's a facilitator in Masamba will also say he's influenced our teaching style as well, because he's very, very clear. And as well as being a mentor and a collaborator, I think we can say he's become a true friend to the band as well. So, this is Afro 12/8. And also, in a small change to the schedule, I'd also like to introduce, to dance with us on this piece, Kelly Baldonado. Wow, 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 wow. You don't see that in Dublin every night. You know, Dudu was doing so well there in the solo, and then somebody come and took all the attention away from him. It's terrible. You know, we often joke when we parade with Kelly and the dancers that we might as well not even be there. You know, if we just had a big enough speaker behind us, we could probably get away with it. The next piece is a medley of actually two rhythms, Makulele and Congo. And we differentiate them because Makulele is also called Congo, Congo Gioro. The Makulele rhythm is an arrangement based on a piece that we learned with Mono Blocco back in 2006, 2007. And the Congo is an arrangement from the Afosheloni project of Dudu. And looking through the files, we first started working on this groove in May 2000. Okay, and we nearly have it right, I think. You know, we're getting there. So this is Makulele followed by Congo.
Thank you very, very much. That was Makulele followed by Congo. That was a little bit intense, so I think the band needs a small break now, except for one person. Maybe Dudu would treat us to a Pandero solo.
As always, amazing, amazing, amazing. I forgot to say that on the last piece, our current youngest member, Philip, played with us on stage for the first time. I hate to tell you, Philip, but not all the gigs are like this. But anyway, there you go. So, kind of staying on the theme of young people, the next couple of pieces are going to be a feature of some of our younger members. So I thought the Masamba Youth Project was 25 years old this year, but it's actually 26 years old this year. The first project we did was a pre-Patrick's Day event in 1998 with a street theatre company called Els Comedians. So we have some of our younger members here who might like to join us on stage. And maybe Fernando can help get them organised, and I'll waffle on here for another couple of minutes. This first piece is called Samba Rap, and we learnt this from another friend of ours, Kieran Gallagher, from Drogheda. Some of you may know him. He probably owes a lot of you money, but he's a good guy. So when we first went to Brazil in 1996, Kieran took over the running of the youth project for the month we were away. And this is the piece he taught them. And then the second piece is a hip-hop arrangement, which we developed very early on. In fact, I think we were playing it for the first performance along with an Afro-Shea rhythm. So they're both kind of rhythms that are very much associated with the youth band. The hip-hop is based on the Sergio Mendes piece, What Is This?, from the Brasileiro album. But I'd also like to point out that joining us on stage are some of our older youth band members, because Rob, Jade, and Aisling all started out in the youth band many years ago. And finally, a very, very special welcome to Sarah Walker, who joins us all the way from the Isle of Skye. Sarah's passion for working with children and young people were vital to the development of the Masamba Youth Project, or the Whiz Kids as it was also known, and also of Munch Samba in Ballymun. So we're delighted Sarah can join us this evening. So this is Samba Rap and Samba Hip Hop. On the list, yeah. I was also told this evening that Fionn, in the white t-shirt there in the middle, never smiles. So if anybody catches him smiling, please take a photograph, okay? Oh, look, is that the beginning of a smile there? I think we're nearly there. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good.
Thank you very much. Masamba Youth Project. Next generation of Irish Sambistas. Well done, everybody. So we just have time for one more piece. And it's funny, we were going to do all these pieces in chronological order, but it kind of made sense to finish at the start. And this piece is called Peter's Reggae. It's basically probably the first or second piece we ever learned with Colin Blakey back in the City Arts Centre in 96, early 97. So after the Big Bang Festival, basically, Samba was the star of the show, and the Arts Centre decided that they would ask Colin to come in and do some team-building workshops with the staff there, and that group basically became Masamba. So we've been playing this piece since before we were Masamba, I guess you could say. So we'd like to dedicate this to Peter and to all of members, past and present, some with us, some not, who have graced the stage and the streets and the back alleys and the lanes and wherever else we've ended up playing. We've played some pretty weird places over the years. So this is our last piece, Peter's Reggae. Thank you very much. I'd just like to say a couple of thank yous before we finish up the proceedings tonight. Firstly, I'd like to thank Dublin City Council who have supported us in our Masamba 30 celebrations, the workshops and the performance this evening. I'd like to thank Fuba Kashasa for providing some drinks for us earlier on in the night. If you weren't here early, sorry about that. And also everybody at the Sugar Club who have been really, really accommodating and helpful all evening. Also, we have a few special guests here this evening. As I said earlier, we have the Ambassador Designate, Ambassador Massiera and his wife and daughter here this evening. Massive welcome to them. We hope they enjoy their stay here in Ireland. And I'm sure we'll be knocking on their door. And likewise, we have Angus Osnodig, TD here, Sinn Féin spokesperson on the arts. Many thanks to him for coming down and supporting us this evening. In terms of other funding that we receive, our core funding comes from a thing called the Community Services Programme, which is an initiative of the Department of Rural and Community Development. The Youth Project, the young people that you saw earlier, a lot of the funding for that comes from City of Dublin Youth Service. And a lot of the instruments that you see on stage this evening are funded through a thing called the Music Capital Scheme, which is an initiative of Music Network and the Arts Council. So, one other person that couldn't be with us this evening, I'm afraid, is our patron, Michael D. Higgins. He sends his regards and hopes we all had a good evening. And finally, many thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. And as I said earlier, all the members of Masamba, past and present. It is a collective, it is a community, and everybody contributes something. And if you'd like to contribute some more, there's a merch stand out in the hall on your way out. So there you go. So thank you very much, everybody. Good evening. We'll see you in another 30 years. Yeah, we'll all be here again.
Hello. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Oh, I'm going to break everything. Ballymun's in the house. Just to say, everybody, right, Masamba is a collective. As Simeon said, it's a community collective. But for all the years that Masamba has been around, it would be nothing without Simeon Smith. And I have seen him battle. He has been a constant battler for this community band. And I think it would be wrong of us to leave tonight without giving him a big round of applause.